The Mo Salah contract revelation. Every fan will want to hear Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah recently ended speculation over his future by signing a new contract. The 32-year-old's previous deal was due to expire in summer 2025, and the uncertain situation lingered over Liverpool's season. But now the Egyptian is secured until 2027 and has got plans to break records both on an individual and collective basis. At times during the season, it looked as though Salah would bring his extraordinary Liverpool spell to an end, having first joined the club in 2017. Paris Saint-Germain are believed to have reached out, but the most pressing interest appeared to come from Saudi Arabia. The Saudi Pro League is growing in stature, and it was suggested that Al Hilal were determined to add Salah to the ranks for the upcoming FIFA Club World Cup. A salary comparable to Cristiano Ronaldo's at Al Nassr was mooted, but Salah ultimately decided that Anfield was the place for him, even in spite of the far superior riches on offer in the kingdom. Salah always wanted to stay. It was always assumed that Salah's preference was to remain on Merseyside, where his family are well settled, and where he has established himself as perhaps the best player in the world. Now comes a claim from Saudi Arabia which demonstrates the extent to which Salah wanted to stay with Liverpool. Prince Abdulaziz bin Turki Al Faisal, the Saudi sports minister, spoke to the media ahead of the weekend's Saudi Arabian Grand Prix and emphasized that no talks had taken place for Salah. It's therefore not the case that Salah was waiting to see what Saudi Arabia could offer before committing to Liverpool. His heart and mind were always on the Reds. Superstar Salah didn't speak to Saudi. He's a superstar, Al Faisal said, according to ESPN. He's an iconic Arab Muslim. He fits the identity of playing in the Saudi league. It was his decision to renew with, but linking Saudi to him and everything. I think from day one they linked Saudi to him. There wasn't any discussions, but it's good to have that. Now you can see that any player wants to renew their contract or sign there. They are saying that they're coming to Saudi, and most 90% of it is not true. But I think we have a strategy that we're working on, and everyone is saying that we're just signing any players. Saudi clubs have been tipped to move for other Liverpool players such as Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez, whose age profiles better fit what the SPL is looking for going forward. If you see the last number of players that we signed, or the club signed, are mostly young players wanting to develop the league, he said. Liverpool could let Manut sign 70-minute playmaker. Liverpool have been tipped to move for several attacking targets, having largely absented themselves from the hustle and bustle of the last few windows. Outgoings will be required, with Darwin Núñez and Diogo Jota both earmarked for the exit. Wingers such as Luis Diaz and Federico Chiesa may also make way, with sporting director Richard Hughes seeking to add to the summer's incoming transfer fund. Top no-nines such as Hugo Ekitike and Matthias Cunha have been linked with Anfield, while wingers, including Brian Mbomo, could also arrive. And with Jurgen Klopp now in situ at Red Bull as global head of football, RB Leipzig have also been suggested as a team Liverpool could do business with this summer. Liverpool and Man Ut watching. Xavi Simons Castelo Luqueba, a central defender, was mooted as a potential Virgil van Dijk successor before the Dutchman renewed his contract. And striker Benjamin Sesko looks an exciting, if expensive, option to replace either Núñez or Jota. The jewel in the Leipzig crown these days is Xavi Simons, the 22-year-old Dutch attacker with 9 goals to his name in the Bundesliga this season. A multifaceted performer, Xavi can play either on the wings or in the no-10 position and has long been linked with a Liverpool transfer. He signed on a permanent deal for $50 million from Paris Saint-Germain in January, but only signed a contract through to 2027. That means Leipzig are seeking to flip him for a quick profit, with a price tag of 70 million suggested for this summer. According to Bild, Manchester United have also got a close eye on Simons, with sporting director Christopher Vivell attending a recent Bundesliga match versus Wolfsburg, in which Xavi scored twice. Manchester United will closely monitor the rest of Xavi's season, a report reads. The Leipzig star has been regularly monitored by Liverpool, among others, this season. Xavi Simon's warning, however, the report adds a surprise caveat for any team attempting to sign Simons. The Dutchman has potential, no question. It continues. But he hasn't had a consistently strong season, and recently in Wolfsburg, in front of Vivell, he wasn't entirely convincing, despite scoring 2 goals. Xavi doesn't always play well for the team, and has serious deficiencies in defensive play. Moreover, his overall package, currently $12 million, isn't cheap. The top clubs will also be considering this very carefully. Liverpool gifted early £70 million summer transfer. Liverpool are gearing up for one of the biggest transfer windows in the club's history this summer. With one hand already on the Premier League trophy, attention is beginning to turn to the transfer market. A number of high-profile departures are expected at Anfield, as exclusively revealed by Anfield Watch, and Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will be doing their best to secure the biggest fees possible. It is difficult to know just how much Liverpool will be able to generate from player sales, but another Premier League club are about to set a precedent that the Reds will be very happy with. Bournemouth set Semenyo asking price. When trying to gauge a fair asking price for some of Liverpool's top talents, it makes sense to look at similar players around the Premier League. One such player is Bournemouth's Antoine Semenyo, who has been linked with a move to Liverpool. The 25-year-old forward has enjoyed a fruitful campaign, earning himself links to some of the biggest clubs in the country and even a potential move to Saudi Arabia. Eintracht Frankfurt have developed a startling reputation as a striker factory in recent seasons. Not only have the likes of Luka Jovic, Sebastian Haller, Randal Kolo Muani and Omar Marmoush scored plenty of goals for the Bundesliga side, but they've also banked the club enormous transfer fees when they've been sold on. Hugo Ekitike appears to be the next name on the list, with the 22-year-old attracting attention from across the continent. Liverpool are known to be keen on adding the Frenchman to the ranks and have even instigated talks with the player's entourage. Frankfurt are expecting around $100 million for their latest striking sensation, and it remains to be seen if he commands a fee that high in the upcoming transfer window. Nonetheless, plans are afoot to replace Ekitike at the Waldstadion in the event that he is sold. Last week it was revealed that Fabio Silva, a Wolves striker on loan at Las Palmas, was of interest to the German side. Frankfurt lining up Ekitike replacement, and now comes the news that Frankfurt are front-runners for Mainz forward Jonathan Burkhardt. The 24-year-old German international has scored 15 goals for his club this season and developed a reputation as a hard-working player with a multitude of finishes. The Mainz captain also appears to have put his significant injury trouble over the past couple of seasons behind him. According to Christian Falk, he is preparing for the next phase of his career, with Frankfurt edging ahead of Bayern Munich and Premier League rivals in the chase for his signature. Should Liverpool cut out the middleman for Burkhardt? Jonathan Burkhardt. Frankfurt is currently the favourite for a transfer, while Bayern are still hesitating, he wrote in his daily briefing. Intriguingly, Liverpool have been credited with interest in Burkhardt, who is rated as similar to Alexander Isak and Marcus Thuram, according to FBref. Burkhardt wants to take the next step in his career, and that could be the Premier League, Falk continues. Manchester United are rumoured to be one of the clubs from England interested in him, along with Liverpool, Tottenham Hotspur, Newcastle United and Brighton. They are all said to have scouted Burkhardt. If Frankfurt are lining up a new starting striker, then it means that Ekitike is likely on his way. But it does open up the possibility of Liverpool cutting out the middleman. Frankfurt have a reputation for selling strikers for sky-high fees. Liverpool have clearly done their homework on Burkhardt,